If you feel lonely or left out or going through some issues with your friends right now, this video is for you. Welcome back and hello to those of you that are new. We've got a pretty short video today. I'm going to give you 3 things that I wish my younger self had known. And these are things that I've learned through many friendships, both positives and negatives, that have shaped me into who I am today, but have also taught me what I value and how I should approach obstacles in the future. We will start off with the most basic one first, that you will get told day in and day out, but I promise you when you learn to fully understand it, life gets so much better, and that is knowing your identity. I could do a whole video on this, but let me just explain to give you some context. The whole way through secondary school, as you will know, I was termed a nerd, and I wasn't the most popular by any means, but I had a lovely friendship group at the time. And there were so many times throughout secondary school when part of me thought, if I didn't try as hard, maybe I socialized more and I stuck with the popular girls and guys, then I would have more friends. Luckily enough, I'm incredibly stubborn. I didn't change. I got my grades, I kept my head down, and I stuck with my friends. And I always knew that if I didn't do that, then yes, I probably would have had more friends, but I didn't need them. And this brings me on to identity. You need to have a moral compass and you need to have self-worth. You should not change your core identity to fit in. So if you're watching this, write down on a piece of paper 3 things that make you you. Is it how you treat other people? Is it your aspiration in life? Is it how you want to be perceived by other people? And you need to make sure that whoever you're surrounding yourself with respects you for that. None of my friends cared that I was a nerd. If they did, we wouldn't have been friends. And I found my people. And I just want you to make sure that whatever you're going through right now, do those people respect your core values and your principles? Because if they don't, then probably a positive. The next thing is something that I think a lot of people find hard, but I find quite easy, which probably isn't a good thing by any means. I am a pretty direct person. I'm someone who is incredibly empathetic and I can get very emotional. On the flip side, I am also someone who can read things for what they are. What comes with that is whether it's been a breakup in the past or a friendship breakup, I am very good at a clean break. What I mean by that is if there is a repeated behavior with a friend where it crosses my boundary and I can understand that our relationship is either toxic or we're not benefiting one another, then I will, in a non-aggressive, non-argumentative manner, end the friendship. And this has happened a couple of times in my life. Still remember, not that she'll ever watch this, but I will always have love for this specific girl that I won't mention her name, that I was friends with through the whole way through secondary school. And I still think of her a lot. And we had to end the friendship because it got to a point where it wasn't what it should have been. And it takes a lot of courage to step away from a friend that you've had for so long. But what comes with that, and it's something that I've learned as I've got older because it's happened before, is people change. You are going to change. They are going to change. And it just comes to a point where you might not be matched anymore. And yes, you may have so many beautiful and incredible memories, but it's completely okay to no longer align. But you can't play the victim card and constantly feel sorry for yourself if you're not going to do anything about it. So if you're at a point like this with a friend, instead of just having a clean break, speak to them first and tell them what is on your mind and be open, because communication is the best thing that you can have. Now, the last thing that I wish I could have told my younger self will tie this all together. And I've mentioned how you should leave a friendship if it isn't right, and that you should have your own self-identity so that you can understand if the friends around you are really friends. Do they respect your identity? The last point will explain why I am so confident in not only who I am, but who I choose to be around. And that is because I will always value quality over quantity. There was a point in my life in which I had a lot of friends. I remember I was going out constantly. I was socializing, I was making loads of friends, and I had a lot of party friends is probably the word. And I was very happy, don't get me wrong, I loved it. But looking back and comparing my life now, the older you get, the smaller your circle gets normally. And I'm so thankful because I could count on my hands, friends in my life that if I needed them right now, they would be here. They would get in a car, they'd get on a train, and they'd be here. And I would do the exact same. It is so much better to have fewer people that mean a lot more. people that fill your cup in a single go rather than little bits here and there. And it also goes for family. I think you guys probably know I am incredibly close with my family. They are one of the reasons that I could lose every other person in this life, but if I have them, I'm fine. Okay, that's probably a bit of an overstatement. Friends, if you're watching this, I do love you, but you get the point. And something that comes with this is when you're at school, it can be a very cliquey environment. There's a lot of groups that go on. And what I'm trying to say here is try and make an effort to have 1 or 2 completely separate friends, whether that's outside of school, in a school club, doing different classes to you that don't overlap, because it is a lot easier to form strong bonds with single one-off people than group dynamics, because gosh, there's a lot of tension and chaos that can happen in group friendships. So it's quite nice to have those one-off friendships that don't intertwine with the rest of your life, that you know you can depend on. Because those people that I can name on my hands don't even know each other. They're pretty much all separate friends, and that's how I love it. So if you're watching this and you're also struggling, please know it's completely normal. And not to be morbid, but just take a step back and think, does it really matter? What are you upset over? What are you arguing over? There's always a solution. Be happy with your own company and be happy alone first. And then friends are just a bonus. They're something that makes your life better. They should not be there to make your life worse, and you should not depend on them. You've got you. I hope this has helped. I always do my little self-promo. If you're interested in my study platform, you can send me a message on here. And if you've got to the end of the video, comment quality over quantity. Right, I hope this has helped. I will see you guys soon.